Hello, folks. I greet you. Welcome to another program in the series Homo Politicus on Enterprise TV. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Again, we keep interrogating the issues that my federation, your federation, throws up. Today, Tinubu to implement Orosanye report. Many government agencies to be merged and or scrapped. You know, life, like country running, is determined by the decisions we make. Some of these decisions can be daunting and sometimes confusing. That's why many times we either make the decisions right or make the right decisions. Shall we put the Steve Orosanye report in its proper perspective? The Goodluck Jonathan government set up the Presidential Committee on the Rationalization and Restructuring of Federal Government Parastatals, Commissions, and Agencies in 2012. And so after a painstaking assignment, the committee, led by retired civil servant, head of service of the Federation, Steve Orosanye, recommended that 220 of 541 government agencies be scrapped or merged. The result, a leaner government, billions of naira saved, but many jobs lost. After years of pussyfooting, the Bola Tinubu government wants to implement the report. And is this a holistic decision or an atomistic one? Shall we have a conversation, please? My conversationalist this day is Emeka Madunagu. Emeka is a journalist and a political commentator. Emeka, I greet you.
Good morning, Citizen.
Yeah, first of all, are you surprised at the news?
I'm not surprised because this is been 17 years, that we had expected that the report will be implemented, but somehow the political will was lacking. We cannot doubt the fact that yes, we need a leaner government. But the point is that more than a leaner government, we need a more efficient system.
Yeah.
A more efficient system because...
which could do with lesser departments or parastatals.
Well, the point is that it's debatable if you need lesser parastatals insofar as they don't have overlapping functions.
Okay. But
Yeah.
why I threw that in like a crazy stick in the park. America, as big as she is, has 18 departments. Or if you like, Nigeria, 18 ministries.
Yeah, but there are so many departments. In fact, America is not even a good example to cite because America, there are so many offices. Office of this, office of this. I've had reasons from time to time.
But do they overlap necessarily?
Well, not necessarily. But there are some instances,
okay,
that they do maybe somehow in between, like where you have security, in issues of security, border control.
Okay.
There might be some sort of similarity. But the point is that the efficiency is what matters.
That's it.
Because we know that in Nigeria, ministries are largely created, MDAs are largely created to provide jobs for the boys, for people who are loyal to the...
It's a universal thing.
Well, no administration in the world will want to
leave the boys out.
Leave their loyal followers out. And then, if you go deeper, we go a bit deeper into the conversation, you'll find out that actually certain departments are created without any specific functions, but maybe to pursue certain issues like espionage, maybe, to serve as slush funds in case of certain emergencies. And you find those especially in the humanitarian sector, humanitarian aid and all of that. So a situation where the United States, for instance, will tell you they don't negotiate with terrorists. But there are back channels through which they hold such discussions.
Okay.
So you find out that sometimes they do such through third parties, and such activities are masked under aid.
Okay.
So you find out that if you look into the politics of aid, there's so much that
goes under the table.
So much that goes on under the table that is a conversation for another day. But what I mean, yes, it's good to rationalize to streamline the agencies, the MDAs. But a situation where President Tinubu started off with 50 ministers was alarming, because these ministers have votes, they have budgets. Each ministry also has a security vote. If you check yearly budgets, you will see that each ministry has a security vote. Each ministry has a vote for maintenance, a vote for new vehicles, a vote for this and overhead and all that.
Yeah.
So, but you find out that actually some of these MDAs, for instance, if you look at the one of some that are being merged, the Agency for Nomadic Education,
yeah.
One other similar agency. But some people have said, okay, EFCC and ICPC and the Special Fraud Unit of Nigeria Police should be merged. But you find out that if you want to carry out a thorough job in the area of fighting corruption, corruption is a hydra-headed monster. So it's not something you fight, using bureaucratic means. You really need to go forensic. You also use unconventional means at times. But the point is, for me, you have to make sure you streamline their functions so that you don't have a situation where the ICPC invites somebody, interrogates the person goes home, then the EFCC does the same thing, then the Special Fraud Unit does the same thing. Then you also have an anti-fraud unit in the Nigeria Police, the same police that controls the Special Fraud Unit. So it is very, very important for us. And this is the 21st century, where a lot of governments are going paperless. A lot of governments are using blockchain. So in such a way that, they've adapted the use of technology very deeply. So it's easier for instance, to ensure the ease of doing business. Because that's one of the problems with these multiple agencies, ease of doing business. You can just, at the click of a button, get registered. You can get permits. Even if it is 10 permits, everything is structured into just one. So you pay everything at home. But in Nigeria, we have multiple levies, multiple taxes. You pay this, you pay this, you pay this. One state, for instance, at the time had emission levy, generator levy. In fact, I think it was even a minister in the Federal Capital Territory then. And people were asking him, what's the difference between, another Federal Capital or a governor in one state in the southeast or so. And asking, what's the difference between emission and generator? That generators emit, toxic fumes. So, are you now going to charge somebody for owning a generator? Which, in any case, the person is helping government to carry out its function of ensuring power supply.
And that generator not emitting fumes.
Well, so there's no a generator cannot emit fumes.
Okay.
But the point is that whether the generator is even dead, the governor's intention before he dropped it was that people should just pay for generators they own. Some even talked about borehole levy. And the point is that government is actually
ridiculous.
Government is actually supposed to provide water supply, pipe water to people's homes. Yeah. So
potable water.
Yes. The thing is that, government needs to be more efficient and more focused on service delivery. It's not just creating agencies.
Emeka, in the process, Steve Orosanye envisioned that about 100 jobs or more would be lost.
Well, in Nigeria, it will boil down to what was that book? My father's Mercedes is bigger than your father's home.
Okay.
My father's farm is bigger than your father's home. It will now boil down to a tribal, ethno-religious issue. Where would you start sacking people from? Now, I look at...
but aren't you begging the question? If you merge a particular agency or make it fuse into a bigger parastatal, it's
some
clear
some agencies, and that is one thing that's fueling suspicion, at Tinubu's decision to implement that report. Because some agencies that I know are dominated by people from a section of the country. So when you are, I saw some of the agencies that are to be merged, and said it will create problems because both agencies, I have been to the headquarters of both agencies in Abuja, and honestly, it was just a preponderance of people from a particular section of the country. And you cannot run an efficient system, an efficient civil service that way. Then
I'm sorry, you don't think it was anathema to have created the agencies in the first place?
Well, that's why I said some of those agencies were just accidental
discharges.
Accidental invention. Just on the spur of the moment. Okay, people are shouting. Now you're talking of state police. There might even be a ministry of state police. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Wow.
Now, I think Orosanye, yes, very fine gentleman, accomplished himself, but I think he missed it big time in the number of in some of the agencies he said should be. He left out some agencies. Look at the power sector, for instance. Do you know how many agencies are in the power sector? Do I start naming them for you? You have NERC, you have a bulk trading, you have the other one, you have Rural Electrification Agency. How many agencies in the past attending to what?
Respective.
Don't forget, you have the NIPP, Nigeria Integrated Power Projects Agency. Then you are not saying the Niger Delta Power Holding, that you move it. The point is this: all these agents, you don't need all these agents. So I don't know why Orosanye missed other area, because the power sector is a critical sector. That is one place where you really need to streamline agencies. But I don't know whether for political convenience it was just deliberately dodged. Because I've checked through the list, the full list released by the government yesterday, and I didn't find any agency from the power sector. Why? Then you now find that.
You think that's deliberate?
Well, I don't know, but it's surprising that.
Or is it likely to be high wire politics?
Maybe. Because this was a report that Orosanye submitted to then President Goodluck Jonathan. A white paper was prepared.
Yeah.
Goodluck Jonathan neither implemented the report nor the white paper. Buhari came in, set up 2 committees. Even after the Attorney General, Mohamed Adoke, rejected some recommendations, he still set up a committee, 2 committees. Nigeria, we love setting up committees.
Yeah.
He set up 2 committees. And then he ended up not implementing the report. So, what do you see here? It only shows that we are not serious about dealing with the key problems affecting us. Because if you look at it, it's a good idea. But the point is, I can tell you that...
So what is a good idea?
Streamlining the agency, but also beyond that, you have to know that there are agencies whose budgets are shrouded in secrecy. Yes. It's only when there is so much noise, CBN, Central Bank, will bring out something like an audit report. NNPC, when there's some noise, they will bring out 1 audit report. In a year, NNPC can bring out 3 different reports. So, now, beyond just streamlining them, you also have the issue of their budgets. Why are their budgets not made public? Do you know that some of these agencies have the power to collect money, to collect revenue for government, then remove costs of collection? You see, I've been shouting about this thing.
Emeka, wait, just the report, Orosanye report disclosed that government would be saving over 862 billion naira.
As at that time, what was the value? The dollar has, the naira has sunk now. So how much are we saving? But by the way, saving in what? In terms of what? Nobody should deceive us with fine English. In terms of what? Is it in terms of their salaries? Salaries of the workers? Is it in terms of their allowances? Is it in terms of what exactly? Because you are still going to match them. And what the government is saying, the Tinubu government says that people will not be sacked. So what have you done? You sold a dog and bought a monkey. So one of the key issues is actually this issue of cost of collection. An agency collects revenue and then on its own decides the amount it will claim as a cost, that what it costs to collect that revenue. When you have blockchain methods now that you can use to streamline revenue collection and transmit same to the treasury.
But
let me add to it quickly, sorry.
Yes.
Some of these agencies even keep the revenue until government starts shouting, or maybe the Auditor General starts issuing queries, then the money comes out.
Let me ask pointedly, if you don't mind, which do you quarrel with, the report or the implementation of the report?
Both of them. The report didn't go, it's not far-reaching enough. Because we know that...
Emeka, it's not far-reaching, but if we attempt to implement the much we can, we'll be saving something, don't you think?
You know, recently there was a memo leaked about the fact that the minimum wage implementation committee asked for 1 billion naira for inauguration. 1 billion naira. But that Tinubu cut it down to 500 million. He also inaugurate a committee.
Yeah.
Then imagine agencies.
You don't think leaked reports are a part of the business of running government?
No, that one. There is sometimes government itself leaks reports. Let's not even go there. Governments all over the world. They leak these things deliberately. Yes, you know, it's all part of the optics of running government, you know. But the point is this: do you know? Did they tell us what it would cost to merge those agencies? When Fashola was made a minister, he was made Minister of Power, Works and Housing. So you had to change delivery on the vehicles in those ministries. You had to bring 3 ministries together. There was Ministry of Power, there was Ministry of Works, there was Ministry of Housing. You had to now start repainting them, P, W, and H. That cost something. So in managing these ministries, have they told us the associated costs? What it will cost to repaint those vehicles? What it will cost to print new files? What it will cost to so many things? And they have offices. Then there are enabling acts establishing some of these agencies.
Okay.
Now, amending the acts is not just something you just wake up and with the drop of a gavel.
Yeah.
No. These things will take time. Some may even involve public hearings. So the fact that you think you merge agencies, if you even go to some of the agencies that Buhari merged, you still see that some of their vehicles, some of their desks and all that still bear, you know, the appellations of their previous identities.
Let me look at a characteristic here. If implemented, amongst the agencies that may be affected are the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission, the Federal Road Safety Commission, the Nigerian Communication Satellite Limited, the National Broadcasting Commission, and the Nigeria Communications Commission. They are all in the areas of frequency allocation. You know, this. So that's on the one hand. You have on the other Universal Basic Education Commission, Nomadic Education Commission, National Mass Literacy Commission. They are performing overlapping functions.
Well, I think we need to be very, very careful in implementing some of those things because nomadic education is different from mass literacy.
Yes.
They are not the same thing.
We are talking about nomads and...
that is even the name given to the ministry is wrong. Because you have fishermen, itinerant fishermen. You have people in different fields that involve them moving here and there.
Okay.
Well, because of the political convenience at the time, that agency was created. They called it Nomadic Commission. But that agency was not actually meant,
to cater to
when people, it was not supposed to cater to only nomads. Because there are itinerant professionals, there are itinerant, there are people who need...
from place to place.
from place to place.
Yeah.
So then if you look at EFCC and ICPC, imagine the two of them. It's going to jeopardize a lot of cases. What I think needs to be done is to streamline their, to look at their vision, their mission, and streamline it.
Yeah.
Because the corruption you are fighting is not a bureaucratic matter. Both agencies, you can. The other ones, which comes out, NCC and others, well, somehow, but let's be very, very careful. You see, let this move not be like what people are saying that's for political expediency, to please Nigerians who have been calling for a leaner government. We have to be very careful because this is the 21st century and a lot of things have changed. So it's not necessarily about, okay, you having 5 ministries. You have 5 ministries, but what are those working in those ministries? What are they doing? What is their job function? How effective are they? How effective are they? So when you look at all these things, then you realize that, you don't just wake up and just scrap or match them.
All right, Emeka. Let's observe a break here. For the newcomer, if you have just joined us, this is Homo Politicus looking today at President Tinubu to implement Orosanye report. Many government agencies and parastatals are to be merged or scrapped. And I have my discussant, Emeka Madunago, here. We'll go on this break. Please come back with us. Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth. Okay then, welcome back. And Bola Tinubu government wants to implement the Steve Orosanye report many years after. And we're looking at the merits or demerits of the exercise. Emeka, do you think this action by the president now is a holistic one or an atomistic one, if you understand my question?
It's an atomistic one, just trying to micromanage the system. Because even in merging agencies, you don't do it, it just won't fell swoop. I think the Tinubu administration is just looking for what to use to keep Nigerians busy talking. It's not as if it is really sincere.
Emeka, if it was that easy to implement, how come the Jonathan government skipped it, the Buhari government skipped it?
And nobody wants to put a gun to his own head and tell people, nobody wants to put a gun to his own head.
So it begs the question, why was the report instituted in the first place?
You see, the report was instituted just to please people because it was the talking point at the time. Leaner government. If you want to really reduce the size of government, start from the very office of the president.
Okay.
The president has power to, I think, appoint about 5,000 people. To put people in, I think, about 5,000 positions. Start from that. There is no office of the first lady in the constitution. Scrap it. It is an aberration. The president has too many appointees, 50 ministers. The president has a principal secretary. The president has a chief of staff. What are you doing with such functions? Then advisors, left, right, and center. 2 special advisors on media. What for? Then special assistant
you think their jobs at that point overlap?
One should drop for the other. What was Bayo Onanuga appointed for? after Ajuri Ngelale had been
I think it's strategy, information
What
strategy.
is all that? You see, what is all that information strategy? Who are they deceiving? What are they really doing? What are they really doing that the Ministry of Information cannot handle? Let's face facts. Because, you see, I think it was the Buhari administration that said that they would do away with, that ministers should do away with chief press secretaries and make use of information officers. You know, yes, it was there, but but I think along the line, the Tinubu administration, you can see some ministers now bringing in their own people, and it's not supposed to be like that, because the Ministry of Information has trained information officers.
Enough.
Yes, enough. What do you need to bring an outsider? There's a way government...
You mean the information ministry can distribute these officers?
Yes.
Okay.
They have actually distributed them, but I'm talking of in terms of those appointees.
Okay.
Like the Office of Secretary of Government Affairs.
But the appointees are statutory.
Yes, but are their aides statutory?
Okay.
No.
Emeka, let's talk about our business, broadcasting and otherwise. The NTA, the FRCN, and the Voice of Nigeria, according to Steve Orosanye, should belong in one environment, one ministry.
Well, I think even more than that, they should be privatized. What is government doing with NTA? What does it need FRCN for? You privatize it so that the workers can be more efficient and you can pay them better.
What about the Voice of Nigeria?
Yeah, Voice of the same thing. Is the same thing. You put all of them together, privatize them. It's just like us running, still maintaining airports, seaports. How many countries still do that? These things are given, they are sourced to organizations that have requisite expertise in running such areas and bringing in revenue. Because the key thing, what it should boil down to is about revenue. Are you bringing in revenue? It's not just creating agencies that are cost centers. Many of our government, our MDAs are actually cost centers. Cost for this, cost for that, cost for this. And they can be made more efficient. So the point is this. If you now merge Voice of Nigeria and Radio Nigeria, how are you going to streamline their careers? Because they're not doing essentially...
But I'm looking at Voice of Nigeria and related to the Voice of America, British BBC World Service, and so on.
Yeah, BBC has different departments.
Yes.
Well, do we want to copy the BBC model?
Or the American model?
The American model. Which one do we want? But the point is this. Let it not just be something, just for soundbite, just for political convenience, and then at the end of the day, you don't get anything done. Like I've said, the key place to start is in the presidency. Scrap certain agencies in the presidency. Scrap the office of the First Lady. It's an illegal office. Scrap certain things. Then certain things associated with the presidency. Reduce the number of appointees. Okay. Look at the aviation ministry. How many directors do they have? What do they need all those directors for? You even have, you have a national horticultural agency. Is it to promote the planting of flowers? Have you seen people planting flowers anywhere? Because as a result of government policy. You have you have different all kinds of agencies. What are they really doing?
So let's take this discussion home. Time constraint. So for you, this adoption of the report shouldn't have come now.
Well, Tinubu, I think, should have followed the path of his hasty and reckless removal of fuel subsidy, announcement of removal of fuel subsidy. That was hasty. No proper thought was not given to it. The same thing with this. You can't tell me you are just implementing...
So this is likely to create more problems than...
To create chaos. You should have actually asked the head of service. Because from what we are seeing, no mention was made of any input by the head of service. I think you should have set up a kind of a small committee, since we love committees, maybe the head of service, the SGF and all of that, to take a look at the report again. How many years after?
800-page report.
What does it take? What does it take? It won't take anything now. That's why we have technology. With blockchain technology, you can distill 800 pages. You can break it up, you just break it into bite sizes. What you want, your bullet heads, your subheads, what are the things you want? And then you decide on it. But now, Orosanye said the MDAs should be merged to save cost, to save and to reduce cost. Now, Tinubu's administration is saying that they are being merged, but no jobs will be lost. So, where do we stand? Which one are we taking? So I think the government should really consider the implications of what it's doing. I think, it just like the fuel subsidy thing was, rushed. Nobody is saying don't remove fuel subsidy, but you do it in phases, based on information. Then this Orosanye report, implementation of the Orosanye report, should have given yourself maybe like 2 years or a whole year to say, okay, we are going to implement it in phases. We will first of all meet with the National Assembly to discuss the issues of the enabling laws. Then from there, we will move to the next step. But what you are saying is, okay, just march.
All right. We stop it there. In taking this home, therefore, let me ask you, watching us, do you think Mr. President is right in agreeing to adopt and implement the Steve Osagete Orosanye report on the rationalization of government agencies and ministries and all that? Well, I know there's a difference between making the right decision and making the decision right. Let the debate continue from your end, but from this end, let me thank Emeka Madu Nagu for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Homo Politicus will come back your way next time. Until then, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Usain, saying thank you for watching. Bye-bye now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.